kind of shot onto a stalwart. Okay. I was so confused for a second. I was like, they're on the other side of the map. Doesn't make any sense to be taking that shot. But yeah, stalwart taking shots over towards RCBs. They make their way in towards the circle. How have the Thunder Talks made it to Saverne?
They just rocked up there. I mean, so 77 with the team holding towards Saverne. They had control of it, but nobody was actually fully in there. 77 regrouping down to the south point, and Thunder Talk find that window. They head first dive straight on through, and that's a great result, leaving DRS and Team Secret still at the back of the queue.
Yeah, I mean, well played, Thunder Talks. Good scouting coming through from them at this probably late stage of the game for them in that terms of not having much scouting done coming through from Sosnovka in the first place. Team Secret, though, still going strong. They found a shot over towards D+. Immediately, they will lose that player. RCB taking shots over towards the Dira. They make their way in. A whole lot of eliminations coming through thick and fast here as 4MV tries to cement their position over towards that western side, and RCB continues to rattle 77.
Shifu turns
Goodbye.
around and
Thunder Talks, I guess.
Just sending in real day one energy from the PEL squad. Thunder Talk able to just go where they want to go. And into the middle they are. Up towards COG Osaka. Are they going to handle it? Seems like they might just be able to. As White steps up and into the fight. AJ has gone down though, and that is unfortunate. A roll down from Garnet. The nade over the top. There's a slow cook on that one. Need to be careful, but out of the shack he goes, and safe he will remain. White stays alive, but they lose AJ.
Like Garnet was an easy knock and Elim there for Hawaii. He was so distracted. Hawaii was like, I think I'd rather get inside the shack. Thank you very much. Just lets his teammate go down.
They're coming to arrest Thunder Talk for making that rotate because it was illegal. I don't know if you can hear the sirens in my background again. But they just keep on coming.
I can hear them now. Sorry, that caught me off guard. I had no idea what you were talking about. It was a little bit silent this time.
Okay.
The Vicious, currently in that fight between them and Team Secret, but being held out so much here, they are struggling to stay in. You know what? The Team Secrets had some good holds on the outer edges, I would say. It hasn't been the most phenomenal of gameplay from Team Secret, but I do think they're one of our teams that has certainly pulled the socks up in these matches, remained relevant somehow, some way. And this playstyle likely will secure them a survival stage.
That was a real nice pull out of the buggy with a shotgun on the tracking as well. Over towards Jaiki for the Vicious. Look at her try and regain some confidence after that last match, and it will be sorely needed. Stage 3, and when the zone closes in 24 seconds, reses won't be possible, and that might be a confirm there. Has to hop out, not going to commit to the healing, but needs to now. Come on, get the first aid. Reyes' only option was to go for that heal, but didn't have the confidence to stick it, to try and find the cover behind the buggy. Will go down for it. Secret going down, the Vicious going down. Neither team having a good time.
Yeah, that fight takes way too long to conclude for Team Secret. They're forced to move in. Saw with good position before MV after scouting over towards that north side and having clear information of what's going on in the south. They'll be able to play on this western edge. There is RRQ as well as Stalwart in this area, but Stalwart's down to just 3 after 4MV, I believe. They were able to pick up 1 elim over their way. That's a strong spot to play in for 4MV as well on that western edge. Not a lot of teams will be battling out against them. D+ forces out the final player from the Vicious. You know what, for D+, it was a bit of a struggle getting in towards this circle, but picking up 5 eliminations. Good start to their angle. I think they wanted a decent game sooner rather than later here over on our day 3, and 5 elims with a position to move down towards the south side. Yeah, this is definitely it.
Taking a look at this circle as well, Blank, the compound on the west that Stalwart hold and the ridgeline that sits out to their west gives 4MV a big opportunity into this circle. They're looking to protect their north side right now, and you can see the RRQ may be looking to sweep down onto it. The DRS are going to be pushing in from that north side as well. So if 4MV can force this fight, transition to that ridgeline, and get rid of Stalwart's pressure on that side, they have a good opportunity. What a sweep down from King as we turn our attention to the east side of the circle now. Mythic goes down first. Remember, they have lost a player on Thundertalk on that roll-up. AJ did go down, but they have now got control of the only building in here. But RCB want to tussle. Don't want to get sleeves rolled up, stuck into the fray. King handling 3 on the down low in the meantime. Looking for another one, and the spray around the edge of the smoke. Cardoza nearly out of ammo, has to swap to the DBS, and out he goes. Chief tries to get rid of the King and will be able to dethrone him. Just a moment too soon for him to be able to take down the rest of his team, but 2 players alive for Team Liquid. They can start to repair, piece themselves back together. RCB in the meanwhile, they've lost 2, and it is going chaotically on this east side. Brute Force are in the wings, D plus Kier as well.
But Team Liquid not quite able to handle King right up until that final moment, and it was a fight between the Chief and the King in those final throws there. Really well done, Team Liquid. RCB, I think, could have maybe got a little bit aggressive, but I don't think they realized just how much damage King had done over towards Team Liquid. So it's a miracle, really, that Team Liquid's able to get themselves back up to a 4 here. And they're not in the most comfortable scenarios, but they're certainly living at the moment. 4MV opts to head over towards that north side to try and deal with RRQ, I think is one of their direct competitors here inside this lobby in terms of high ground. So I think it's a smart choice to go for. KYMYZ looking over towards Xing inside the shack.
Trying to stay safe, and actually it's pretty difficult to cross this open ground now with Team Liquid and RCB creating a buffer zone out on the east. When one of these teams goes down, that makes Thundertalk's shack a little bit more exposed, but Brute Force, D+, both going to be in combat over the top of the hill zone as well, which is going to make this east side a little bit slower. For the meantime, Thundertalk can stay alive. Once these conclude, they are in a lot of danger. Actually, the nade just finds its way on in and goes down nonetheless. Brute Force, okay. They commit to the fight. D+ is swept aside.
D+ out. I mean, not a horrible game for them in terms of placement points, in terms of elims, but definitely not as far as they would have liked to have gone here. Circle shifting over towards the center. Does support some of our teams like Coin Donkey. Brute Force still at 4 elims. I'm not sure what Neos is doing. Displaying dominance, I guess. Puffing out his chest a little bit versus DRS. On this eastern edge, both teams need to get further in. And that's over towards that awkward engagement that's still plowing on through between Team Liquid and RCB. A fight they could have ended much, much earlier, but Team Liquid are just given time. KYMYZ does find one, but Silas will fall in the process. Again, no one is able to third party on this one. You would expect a little bit more aggression. Brute Force, though, now finally hears it. Start to peek their heads over the top side of this hill.
Potentially pick up a lot of points so they can add to their stolen elim tally, maybe. Or just allow them to get the reses and then take them down themselves. Chief gets taken out of the vehicle. Sanchez from Stalwart, able to take those shots from across the circle. Was that over to him? No, that might have been DRS, actually, going on through. A lot of elims getting racked up now. And on the east side, Brute Force want to try and push D+ out of the way. Try and mount the offensive over towards Influence Rage. It's only 4MV now who are on the chase towards the top spots, Blank, with 3 elims. With the eastern side, they're looking to maybe actually sweep over to the high ground. And instead of going for that ridge, transitioning down towards Stalwart's compound, they're going to try and move the edge out of the way. But Reefus getting taken out by that nade is a huge opener for RRQ. Shots from across can come through as well, as the third-party angles are ripe for the picking.
Yeah, this is I think it's a play that could have worked if 4MV had got slightly more aggressive earlier over towards RRQ, but time is just withering away for this squad now, and RRQ could comfortably hold this. They have a plateau, so they're not privy to a lot of those off angles coming through from the eastern side of the map. And I think 4MV would have been better off actually heading back down towards Stalwart side, who now contain this ridge. So in my opinion, there is somewhat, it's a frustrating one because 4MV is making good calls. They are making good decisions, but they are overcommitting a lot of times to those decisions. I think you head up, you try and get a pick off towards RRQ, you control the high ground, perfect, wonderful. As soon as that doesn't go your way, you know what's down towards yourself. You can't afford to give them this ridge, so you have to back off. It's just... all the ideas are there for 4MV, they're just not being executed in the proper way.
Not this time around. Unfortunate. Hoping to repair themselves into today, but they still got 2 players, and they're not out of it just yet, as tentative and tenuous as their position may be. Actually, sending a player forwards, they're moving towards the middle of the circle and underneath RRQ now, with 77 putting pressure on, sweeping out to this north edge as well. Doc has managed to go for a split once more. Of course he has. Why not? In these 2-player scenarios, just getting a little bit closer to the center can be very, very beneficial, and it will keep him in. The 2 teams on the north side may look to push past this location, but as they go, they'll take shots at one another. They will suppress those positions both. Stalwart on the west cut out slightly. This is good news for Doc. I think he has legs in this position, but it's very, very dangerous even so. Okay.
Vallejo is in a weird area of the map there. No idea where that was, but a full rundown into pump shotgun shots over towards DRS, and that is them out in a blink of an eye. They were taking shots over towards Brute Force, and then came a moment where Brute Force had enough. They were sick of it. They sent down, they just removed DRS from the planes of existence, as well as the planes of this map, apparently, as we couldn't even see them.
I think he managed to get the shotgun onto the driver of the buggy before it hit him, and therefore didn't get knocked by the buggy. It slowed down in time. That's kind of crazy over on the east side from Brute Force. 7 elims now. Influence Rage on the southeast side, though, a big barrier to them, not only on the tables, but in this game as well. Brute Force cut out in the cold on the east. Shifu shots over towards Fnatic out in the open. No hope of survival. No retribution either from the rest of the team. Couldn't get the trade, which is kind of the best deal you're going to get in that scenario. Unfortunately, no one had the angle. Nade up high. Comes on through, but RRQ not connecting. Asaryu not quite able to navigate that one in time. And again, these open hillsides, these third parties are brutal.
Second game in a row now where Doc has been able to put up 600 damage, doing a lot of good shots over towards Stalwart right now. And it really does feel like Doc is having this situation of a retribution arc, right? Where it's the case of, look, guys, I realize that I was a little bit crazy over those past couple of days. I will now repent and pick you up a lot of eliminations for your troubles.
Now with 1 player trying to move on through. 77 cut out in the mix. 2 players from 4MV, and they are still going. A little push, and it might just be all they need to send them in towards the top 5 of this circle. Actually moving up the hill. Doc wants more of this fight. He's going up towards RRQ. The 1 player, maybe he thinks he can handle it, and probably he's right in this scenario. A nade up high, isolates the tree, knows that he's not going to be playing behind there now with that first nade not connecting, has to be worried about the other angle, but no, he's not concerned. I don't think he's read into this one. He hasn't spotted that cross back out. And the flex for RRQ may be good. Pre-firing the angle, still doesn't know. Could be caught unawares here. Doc needs to be careful. Long range from the bottom of the hill there. That's coming through from Point Donkey. But that is going to be a third party again from Influence Rage to keep Doc safe.
LSIU is just chasing him down. He's like, please come back, Doc. Doc's like, no, I have sinned. I shall not stay out in the blue too long. I will return to my teammate. It's like, no, keep making mistakes, please.
I must go. My people, they need me. And they do at the moment right now. There's only 2 of them, so 50% your team, not something you can risk. Stalwart over the top. Void Donkey ID have been keeping this bit safe for a while now, but teams are going to put pressure on it as they turn their attention to the center of the circle.
Influence Rage. I was actually surprised they remained in this game for as long as they did. They've done a great job, currently with 5 eliminations, Brute Force on that 7. So 3 2-man squads, as well as a 3-man coming through from Influence Rage. Again, Doc continues. He is seriously begging for forgiveness from his teammates right now. He's like, look, I'm going to get 9 eliminations this match. I'll put the team on our back right now, okay? Just for you guys. This one game in my backpack. Let's go.
I am so sorry, guys. Please, please forgive me.
I am so sorry.
I like it. I like it. That's the attitude we need for a comeback. And 4MV looking to harness the inner MG3 in us all. As they move into the circle, actually getting a low ground crossing without brute force taking shots. Doc finds Freezer. Another one. Hitting him with the DJ Khaled approach to these limbs.
Doc is carving the word apology into his bullet casings right now. I love it. Neos, almost the next one to go down. If 4V can get a second place off this game, it will be a fantastic result for them, considering some of those awkward scenarios we saw on that western side come through. Doc is looking for... he finds the final player. Let's go, Doc. All right, this is what we want to see. But...
The 4MV going to win this one?
No, but also, this has to not go to his head. Again, this is a game about apologies. This is an apology match for Doc. The rest of his team... No more crazy plays, just discipline, just strong gameplay. Good elims. Baron heads down to Voin Donkey. Doesn't pick the elimination up. That's a nice nade, actually. It's a little bit short.
This is difficult for Influence Rage to really get too much done. I mean, only the one nade in hand for Diego Law, the one nade as well. These are going to have super high value into the next circle, so investing them here may be a little bit too risky. Vexy is playing slow, lying in wait for Voin Donkey and up to the ridgeline. Lil Boy goes, getting that scouting done. That's the closest they've been in a while. Doc is going to try and push him back off. Knows he's been seen, so puts more pressure on. Baron from the low ground. A lot more ordnance in hand for them.
Dude, they have the inside track. Oh, please run him over. It's just chilling. Man.
They need to be so careful.
They have the inside track. It's so good right now.
4 nades.
I know. Oh, come on. This is it. This really is it. This is where Doc can lay down the law. Right.
Literally.
I think he does need a little bit of that confidence back. And you're right. Will he lay down law? Will he take out that player on the side of Influence Rage? Vexy still down below, and 4MV's very aware of it. What's up an MK12 though, I think. Absolutely hits harder. Okay, in comes the roll-up. Doc, round the side. Good shots, needs to hit something hard up towards them, but goes down as Lil Boy on the front lines. Baron with the nades has to be stellar.
Vexy as well can be a third-party angle on this one. The nade bobbles forwards, nearly catches Lil Boy, but his head's up on it. And there's the Molotov, pushes on through. The rollout comes out wide, and Influence Rage establishing more angles. This puts so much pressure on Baron, but he's up into Doc's rock here. Vexy, where's he? Is he going to launch a nade, get a cook, take down a player from Influence Rage? No, he's staying quiet. Still, just chill. Baron now trying to hold his nerve as the nade finds Claw. 1v2 now, and out goes Lil Boy on a wide sweep with a low profile. The buggy up and into the process as well. Step up, Baron. You need to see this. You need to see it now. There's the whiff on the spray, and Lil Boy's position is given up. Diego and Lil Boy in a 2 versus 1 against 4MV. Doc still down. The nade for Baron. Moves it forwards. Over to Lil Boy. A lot of damage on the res. A 3-player assault now for Influence Rage to the ridgeline, and Vexy is still there. Don't forget about him. For Voin Donkey on the off angle. Diego around the edge, and 4MV fall. But now the 1v3. Potential still there for Vexy. Can he make it work? No, of course he cannot. The Brazilians bite back. 4MV ain't got nothing. Contrition in his heart and will be put down in the dirt. Doc may have done a little, but he didn't do a lot.
Really good game there from Influence Rage, honestly. They had the outside edge, and it wasn't a good position to be in, but Influence Rage still make it happen. But for 4MV, though, I'm almost glad that they lost, because this means we can see more of that type of gameplay. I think they need a little bit more time before they get that chicken dinner and then start replicating that kind of performance. But we'll head it back over to the desk in the meantime so they can break this all down.
So I got one question here, gentlemen.
I'll be right back.
As we break down this game. Are we watching, like, VODs of yesterday? What's with these zones, man? What is going on? We're just having, like, exact replicates of what went down yesterday. Obviously with some different winners here, but, like, what?
If you replace Influence Rage with Brute Force, I'm like, what did I would have double-checked my feed to make sure I was not watching yesterday's VOD, Jason, because they are eerily similar. Like by eerily similar, I mean almost a one-to-one carbon copy right now between those two kind of areas we had between yesterday and today. And Box Compound Drix, we saw it again be a strong position, a free ticket entry point to the late game. It gets them into the late game. They can just start spreading out to get himself the win. A bit scary though, because there were some good clutches coming out from Baron or 4MV, but as we see, they wrap it up because they have the high ground control and they get themselves some good old 8 eliminations on board.
Take it to the bank, dude. It was so crazy. I saw somebody in the chat. It was just like, not a single Eastern Circle in all of PMGC so far. Like, it's wild.
I thought you were gonna say it was the. You don't say it like AJ. You say it like AJ.
Oh yeah. It's not AJ. It's AJ. Ah, yeah, it makes sense. You know, Influence Rage. Good, solid chicken dinner here. That's going to definitely cement their top 3 just a little bit more. At the same time, you know, like with such similar zones, I thought we are going to see the same thing from DRS, you know, just kind of like copying D plus Kia's rotations just a little bit quicker. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them, but there's still plenty of time left for even the teams at the bottom, right? Only a couple good matches, and we could see one of these guys, you know, all the way down in, 16th place, possibly even make a run for top 3.
Whoa!
Possible.
That's a bold statement.
It's still possible.
It's definitely a statement.
It's definitely something. I mean, mathematically, possible.
I mean, what is it, 50 points? 50 points to cross? I mean, that's 2 games. Two good, solid chicken dinners, and they can make that run, right? There's still plenty of matches left here. So, I mean, it's in the works, but, you know, with Influence Rage getting some good, solid points, it definitely still leaves that 3rd place, I think, open. The points are so spread. Like, it's not just like a crazy sponge at the top.
I think that we are going to be having some differences in the top 3 by the end of this group, for sure. It's going to be a little bit topsy-turvy. It's going to be a bit all over the place. But otherwise, we had some good games so far today. We had some teams at the bottom that are trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. The apology tour of Doc is happening, as Blank was said. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, move over Aero Tour. Bring me the Doc apology tour. I'm definitely a fan.
Good content. It's definitely great content. But actually, I do have to highlight a team, though. I did like what Stalwart were doing. They were given a lot of space by 4MV. And actually like, oh, wait, we can actually play the compound and the ridge without having to fight 4MV directly, because for some reason, 4MV wanted to get involved versus RRQ and 77 really, really early. It's like, no, we're just going to claim control of the West, get a free access into the late game. Unfortunately, you can see here in the replay that making it to this hill is just flat terrain. Making that rotation when you have 3-4 teams looking your way is super hard to pull off, but at least Riley's able to just wiggle his way through and get a few extra placement point on board. So for that, Stalwart, definitely a good understanding of this terrain for this match.
I'm actually interested in looking at, because I know we're focusing a lot on 4MV here, but I feel like we have some right to do so. We definitely did see an adaptation yet again to their style. Kagasaku not bridge camping at all. Obviously, they want to get up to the zone as quick as possible. But 4MV, as I think Hotrix pointed out, going like very far west to rotate through, just trying to make sure they just don't get caught by any teams so they can make it into the late game, and then coming out to this zone on the west side.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly for them, right? Yeah, they went all the way through that hospital kind of rotation in the blue.
Bridge.
Yeah, they hit that North Bridge. And suddenly, you know, that zone just the zone yoinked on over to the west side, and 4MV is like, oh yeah, thank you, we'll take this all day long. So I mean, a perfect situation for them. I mean, anytime you see a team just rotate late onto the edge of a circle, I mean, if it hard shifts to that side, they're gonna put some points on the board, and it's good to see them do it, especially after seeing, you know, D plus Kia struggle a little bit. So I think that's gonna close that gap a little.
If we just get a different circle, I think that we'll see D plus get better result. Not that it's just a circle, but it is rough when it goes straight up north, which of course not many teams drop there, and then it continuously goes west, and then west again, and then west again. And that means you had, what, I think we had 7 teams over to the east, and they were just fighting for scraps at that point. And then you have Influence Rage that gets involved at the end. They have 3 players going to completely obliterate you, and by doing so, not only secure their spot in first place again, but they also start to create a bit of a lead here. We got a 24-point lead. Even one big game from Brute Force would not allow them to overtake Influence Rage. So, man, they're looking right now like the best team from Brazil in this group, which I did not expect, Hotrix. I thought it was going to be Team Liquid, but Influence Rage are here to play.
I mean, the damage control needs to happen sooner than Miramar. You know what I'm saying? And we're just not seeing it happen there from Team Liquid just yet. And we see them get caught up in some really kind of like awkward situations on the last map. We saw them in Hot 10. And I thought that we're going to see a little bit of a share in Hot 10 from Team Secret and Team Liquid. But no, these guys just went at it off the rip. And Team Liquid got picked apart. I mean, so far, they're still in 9th place. We could see that emergence because we know that they're still such a huge threat, but it's just been taking far too long, I think, for these guys to get going.
It's so crazy to me to see our leaderboard towards the bottom. It's what, 8 points separating you from 16th to top 11. Like that's kind of nutty compared to other groups. We were, almost at 20, 30 plus points at this point in the group. But well, I mean, obviously any team could